amid the DeSean Jackson comments, but just in general, we want to inspire, empower, fight stigmas by the panels that we have today of the strong, amazing guys.
How to move forward from that is, call it ignorance. And, I don't know him personally, but I'm sure a bunch of people that do would say he's not a bad guy. But that's what you do. I mean, I think Edelman did the right thing too by, reaching out and saying, I would like to help educate you. I'd like to, try to understand you better. And that's exactly where I'm at. If I knew him, I would be like, hey, I would like to understand your point of view and you can understand mine and we can come to a common understanding. And, I would love to help, do anything in my power to show you the past, and show you how Jews have been persecuted. And that's the route I would personally take.
I think the biggest thing is, just educating guys and, being able to talk about it. And, just kind of, that's one thing I like to do as well, is just kind of bring it up to people when I'm in the room or when it comes up and just kind of speak about my experiences and family and heritage and traditions that I've had as a Jew. So, I think it's just important just to keep the conversations going.
Why is anti-Semitism not a part of cancel culture? That's a big question. It feels like anti-Semitism gets a free pass.
And I don't know if Jewish people do a good job defending ourselves at times. It's not like, I'm not saying that we're terrible, but I just don't think we do that at times. And look, there's something it's important to discuss here, is that for the most part, of course, there's different circumstances here and there, but Jewish people are doing okay in America, right? We're doing okay. There's anti-Semitism. There's been terrible things that have happened at temples. I'm not discrediting that, but I do think there's a part of this where we don't speak out because we're doing kind of quote unquote okay in America. And it's uncomfortable to talk about that, but I think that's part of why at times we just don't go out and defend ourselves. And you're right. It is the last thing that we don't cancel people for, right? And I think that we're just tolerant and want to educate people. Like DeSean Jackson, all of us have said, I think all three of us said, we would rather go the education route and not the cancel route. And maybe that's our fault. Maybe we're being too easy on DeSean. But I think we're just Jewish people. We're raised on compassion, empathy, right? Like trying to teach and spread love. And I just think that we look at situations like this and say, hey man, let's try to educate the guy and not cancel him.
DeSean Jackson should be admired for his willingness to learn the truth. I mean, the truth is that the Jews have been the most valuable friends blacks have ever had in the fight for social justice and racial justice and economic justice. Another truth they'll learn, that Jews have been at the forefront of the civil rights movement in support of desegregation, voting rights, and defeat of housing discrimination. Jews made up 50% of the young people who participated in the Mississippi Freedom Summer of 1964.
Back to Jackson, it was a spectacularly ignorant set of comments. And I'm hopeful that Ron is correct that his response to it is, has some sincerity, and it's more than just, oops, I want to get out of the way of this problem, which is often what happens today.
I think you have to appreciate that in sports and in a lot of fields. There's a lot of testing of your teammates or your friends. There's some joshing and kidding around, and it doesn't matter about the Jewish thing. It could be a black thing, it could be an Italian thing, a Polish thing, or any stripe at all. But there's something different with the Jackson situation when you're starting to harp on tropes of hatred and of stereotyping. And it is definitely very ignorant.
Frank, are all really overachievers and have done so much in your life and so instrumental in not just your sports career, but after.
So I've been in with all different walks of life. And, when I hear comments like that, I don't initially jump off and shoot back, if you will, with fire words and say, okay, well, then this and the other. People are brought up differently. Everyone, if you're a child and whoever's bringing you up feeds you information, and that's what you have to go on. You're armed with that information until your journey takes you paths where you learn on your own, hey, my mom or dad were wrong. This is what I see. So when I hear things like that, and I see the reaction, I immediately was like, oh, that's a shame. That's going to come back and get him. Because in today's day, it's impossible to be a kid because you build your whole life trying to be and do the right things. He has charities. He does things. He gives his time, his energy, his money. For him to go off and do something like that, and then all of it to be tarnished, good luck unstaining that shirt.
You have to evolve as an adult. You have to evolve as a person. And I think we have to have these conversations. I think we have to have these conversations about racism. We have to have them about anti-Semitism. And we have to understand how other people grew up, what they believe, and just come to a mutual respect, but also just start the conversation of, hey, this is what were you thinking when you said this? Here's my point of view, and let's just talk about it.
We wish we kind of didn't get in the situation where words were said, that affected people. A community, a huge Jewish community. There's no reason for that to have happened. The biggest thing which we wish would have happened through this whole thing is that we get educated. We understand, we listen, we empathize with each other, we understand where people are coming from, and the biggest thing is just being a better person, right? So making sure that we understand how each person feels and become a better person and treat others the way you want to be treated and respect all. And that's how we should have to be in this society.
I heard a professor speak about, he fought racism for 20 years. And he said that the main concept of how it spreads is, you're at the poker table with your guys and someone says a racist comment. And because it's the guys, you don't want to, whatever, you let it go. And so I think holding people accountable. Thank you so much for listening, being a part of really, I think, a nice first step in a positive direction for all of us.